Hello, my name is Harry Lee, and I have gotten into reading recently. And if I'm honest, I haven't made a script to this or anything. I just figured I'd go as I feel with it. And I just want to review the books I read. And this, I'm not going to reveal it yet, but this particular book made me extremely angry because I just felt it was such a missed opportunity for what could have been, an amazing story. But maybe I've been thinking though, maybe that's because I don't like fiction. Because recently I've been reading A Waiter in Paris, and this will be the next review. But from what I've been reading in this, I much prefer this book because the writing and it's a biography, but it's just a great story. It's about the guy's life, and I think I spoil what this book is about, but I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these, but I just feel like reviewing this particular one because I've read this author before, so I figured I'd do it. And the big reveal is, ta-da! It's The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. Now, I think it's called a synopsis on the back. Very strong premise. I don't know if I won't spoil it. Actually, no, I will spoil it. Spoilers. Big spoilers. Basically, well, I'll tell you the plot first. The whole point is that this girl don't want to get married, so she makes a deal with the devil to live forever, but will always be forgotten. That's pretty cool. Hey, I'm not. Hey, I could do with that. Live forever. Bit of a gimmick, but it's cool anyway, right? And it's a very strong premise. Now, my only issue with what should be a really cool book is it's just almost pointless. The ending was pointless. The most of the story was pointless because 90. I think like it takes until like 100. I was reading it and you get to like page 160 until there's any like meaningful development in the story with her meeting this lad named Henry who can remember her because of this guy's deal that he made as well. But my issue with it, right, is that given this amazing power to live forever but be remembered by no one, all that's described in the I'm just doing this because I'm bored. All that's described in her times when she's exploring is the fact that she just walks and steals. That's all that's written. Later on, she's telling this Henry lad about how she's flown planes and all these things and saw technology develop, but none of that's written. It's just in anecdotes, which I think is really, really boring, because all this book is for the better half. I think like a good 70%, I would say, is her walking about and stealing. It's wank. It's wank. I don't care what you say. It's so wank. And the only reason I tried this author was because my ex recommended me the Schwab. I think it's Vicious. The camera didn't pick it up, but it's Vicious, and I really liked it. I thought it was great. So I decided to try another V. Schwab book, which was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I was so disappointed because, as I said, this story had a very strong premise, but it just ended up going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Now, I made a basic introduction of it, but I'll give you the whole overview of the story because I just thought I honestly don't think it's worth your time if you're even interested in this book. Just don't bother, man. I could bash my head against this wall and I'd probably have more fun. But basically, as I said, she doesn't want to get married, so she makes a deal with the devil, as you do, and becomes immortal, but is always forgotten. Very cool premise, but as I said, goes nowhere. But then, after, I kid you, I remembered this, I wrote this down, 160 pages, there is a development by her meeting a lad called Henry, who it turns out later on can remember her because he struck his own deal to be loved by everyone, and because of that, she gets to be remembered by him. But overall, I thought for the most part it was okay, and I thought the ending could be redeemed, but the ending, all that happens is because basically the whole immortality of Addie's condition is she will be immortal unless she doesn't want to be anymore. Because the condition is she will be immortal but always forgotten until she wants to not be anymore, until she wants to surrender her soul, as the devil says. But there's a whole side plot with how this, it's called Luke, or Luck, because it's L-U-C, devil, ooh. But it's struck as that, and the only thing that bothers me about it is the author keeps presenting it as manipulation by the shadow, look, devil, whatever you want to fucking call it, I don't know. And even though the author keeps presenting it as a false romance, as just the shadow trying to manipulate her to get her to submit, surrender, and he uses seduction and charm, but it doesn't work because she's an alpha. And it's just, bloody hell, man, boring. And then the whole reason, in all fairness, this is my first review, and I feel like I'm wasting your time. But when you get to the end, basically, the demon falls in love with her, and she makes a new contract. It's bollocks. Honestly, bollocks. Go read something else. Just don't bother. If I had to review it, 5 because it's not horrible. Like, the writing was decent, and I like some of the manner. Like, I'm not saying that, but yeah, more or less it was okay. But bro, do not waste your time on it. How many pages? I think it's like 560. This is the longest book I've read, but I went to Waterstones and I got like a solid haul. Look at that! Look how thick that is! I wish something else was as thick as this, but can't have everything. But I am much more excited to read those other books I got in comparison to this, because honestly, I did not like this. And V. Schwab, I don't know if, like, as I said, I read Vicious, and that was I actually quite like that. But this, wank. Honestly, wank. Looking for something to do. Don't do anything involving this. But that is my review of it. It's not a very insightful full review, because as I said, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore. I'm just doing this because I'm really, really bored. Like, Counter-Strike's down, so I'm just doing this instead. But overall, yeah, not very good. Okay, love you. Goodbye.